As everybody knows, the price of these older games has skyrocketed in recent years, especially the prices of these little guys. Now, the save game batteries inside of these are only good for about 20 or so years, and then they need to be replaced. Now, you could buy a brand new cartridge every time your save battery fails, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. You could also send them into a professional to get repaired, but that requires a lot of trust that you're actually getting this specific cartridge back. Now, I would prefer to do it myself. It's a lot cheaper, and it's easier than you think. So I picked up this copy of Pokemon Silver from a local store a few weeks ago. Maybe you've heard of it. All kidding aside, this was actually a really good deal that I just couldn't pass up. I mean, look at this price. $19.99? Are you serious? These things in good condition are well over $50 right now, and depending on when you're watching this video, it may be way more considering how many people loves the Pokemon. But before we jump into the repair and get too excited, is this actually a real copy of Pokemon? The label has some scratches and some wear, which tells me it's been used, and most people would think that that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because it shows it's been used, and it has some history. More importantly, this label is stamped with a little 34 on the front right corner there. I haven't seen any reproductions in the wild that have this yet, and that's a good indication that we have the real deal here. The inside is nice and clean, and the ROM chip looks like the proper one. You can check the numbers on the insides of these chips to make sure they're legit online with either price charting or other websites, but normally when you see this, you're in really good shape. There's no save file, and this game has obviously been used. I'm guessing the battery is finally given out, since that's what keeps all the save information stored on these older cartridges when they're not in use. You can test this by creating another save, but odds are this battery is toast. So it's time for a swap. So what about the cost of a replacement? You could take it to that kiosk at the mall that does everything and sells all the outdated cell phone accessories that no one seems to be buying, or you can mail it to a more reputable place online. I just have a really hard time trusting people and the post office with my games though. Besides, it's like $20 per cartridge to replace a battery, not including the shipping. And you could do it all yourself for about the same price. But wait, why is it cheaper then? Whether it's online or in person, it's about $20 per cartridge to let a business do all the work. And that doesn't even include all the things like cleaning fees, shipping, tax, and all the waiting that you have to do. So if you did it all yourself, you could buy this cheap soldering kit for about 21 bucks on Amazon, this pack of batteries with the game bits included for about 14 bucks on eBay, grab that old bottle of isopropyl alcohol in your closet that you never use, get some Q-tips from your bathroom, watch this free video 10 times for the grand total of about 35 bucks. But wait, that's only the first one. What if you have 2 cartridges that need batteries? What if you have 10? 10 battery swaps is about $200 with the official repair guys, or you can finish them all for about $35 by yourself. I'm sure these prices will fluctuate over time, but this is the cheapest way I've found to do it, and you really can't beat $3.50 per unit. Besides, with your new skills, start charging your friends to replace their batteries to pay for your batteries. Why not? Now on to the actual repair. You'll want to do this in a well-ventilated area or have a fan running nearby, but start by adding a little new solder to the old stuff to allow it to flow much better. Trust me, this will make your job a lot easier. Once some of the old solder is all heated up, remove the battery and dispose how you see fit. Cleaning the area isn't super necessary at this point, but I just like to start with a clean slate to make sure the new battery tacks down and attaches easily. So as I was editing this, I just realized that not everybody knows how to solder, so I'll probably make a video in the future about how to actually go through that. Probably be short, but short video in the future at some point. Anyway, back to this one. After the battery is tacked down, if it's not perfectly flat, that's okay. You can go back, just heat up the joints again, and just use a little light pressure to hold it in place while the solder hardens. Once you're sure the battery's in place, go back and add a little bit more solder to each of those side joints until there's a nice small bubble of molten metal there. This may take some practice to make them look nice and bright, but you should get the hang of it pretty quickly. Then do the final cleanup to remove any flux residue with a little isopropyl alcohol. I like the 99% stuff because it dries really fast, but it's okay to use 70% if that's what you have available to you. And that's it. The job's done. Time to test out your new saving capabilities. Once you have your new save file, shut off the system and take out the cartridge. This is to make sure there's no power flowing to the board, so the battery is activated instead of the handheld powering your save file. Load it up again to check for your save, and you're done. If it still doesn't have a save even after you've done everything right, you may want to test the battery with a multimeter to make sure you don't have a dud. This is really rare, but it does happen occasionally. Or you could check the connections on the circuit board itself to evaluate if it needs other repairs. Those kinds of repairs will be covered in a future video since we are assuming we are replacing a battery on a good working game though. But what if you have a save file that you want to keep? Let's say you want to keep that sweet save file from the 7th grade that still has the complete Pokédex on it. All 151. If you just remove the battery, all your data will be erased and no more save file. So what then? It's a little bit more complicated and you need to be a bit more careful, but you could do all of the work while your game is still loaded up. Let me explain. Remove the front of your cartridge, snap it into your Game Boy, and boot up your save file. While you're idle in the game, repeat the entire previous process very carefully while your handheld is still on. This way you still have power going to the circuit board and will preserve your file while you work on the battery. It's a little harder to solder and clean the board, but you get the same result while also keeping your save files intact. On a side note, there are many other ways to do this, but this is the easiest, cheapest method I've seen. But if you're really worried about losing your save game files that you've worked so hard for, I would highly recommend getting a save game backup unit like the Joey Jr. from Ben Ben or something very similar. Congratulations, you fixed your first Game Boy Color game. Didn't take that long, it didn't cost that much either. Be sure to comment down below on what cartridge you plan on fixing first. Thanks for watching, and see you next fix.